Hey everybody, welcome back to the Capes Cast podcast. I'm Jeremy,
And I'm right.
and we're gonna talk some Absolute, and we're gonna talk some Ultimate, some Imperial, some Immortal. There's not really a lot of news at all this week that I could find. A little bit of solicitation news for One World Under Doom number 7. Covers got revealed, I guess. So like Simone Bianchi did a cover. I think Mike Del Mundo. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Either way, covers look cool. Uh, but then there was like the only other thing I guess of note would be that W or Warner Brothers Discovery
Yeah.
is like splitting into two entities, I guess. So it's kind of like one will be like the content side of things, so like HBO Max and DC Studios, like movies and TV and streaming, yada yada yada. And then, but that's just like entertainment content. That doesn't include like any kind of like sports or live other kind of television, like that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah.
separate, apparently. So DC Comics falls under the DC Studios umbrella, so it's going to be under like some kind of new. Zaslav is the guest in charge, so which who's one of the guys in charge already. But it's fine, whatever. It's just the same bullshit they've been doing, honestly, because they're
Yeah.
going back to HBO Max when they went from HBO Max to Max when it used to be HBO now. And it's just whatever, dude. Like, you just get it together because
Yeah.
you barely have any money as it is, it seems like.
They've been passing that ball of ownership
Dude,
now.
they've been having a struggle, bro, because like
Yeah.
ever since Black Adam, when they had like no money, and they had to do all that extra business, bro. It's like, get out of here.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I'm not worried about it because like it makes too much money, so nothing's really gonna happen to it. So
yeah, it's fine. Like, I mean, it's expensive, but it has a lot of good content on there. So I guess I understand. But also, it's like, whatever. I wish it wasn't like $18, basically. No,
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Like
Let's chat.
because I
Absolutely.
love the like HBO Max and the convenience of that.
Ooh,
It's
yeah,
like
there's a lot of good stuff on there. Like, but not for almost $20 a month. And you want to be pulling my leg and doing all this weird stuff.
I feel you.
Because what happens if you get some of that stuff taken off because it's just like in the like ether between you know what I mean? Like, I don't, that's, who knows? Whatever.
Lame.
All right, let's do it.
Let's
Absolute
go.
Green Lantern.
Dude, this was so cool. This is like the
So I'm really enjoying how each of these issues is starting with like each of the characters. Like one of them, the first one's Hal Jordan,
yeah.
second
So
one's Joe.
if I would say that like Peach Momoko's X-Men feels like a manga, this feels like a or like a DC anime. Like I'm reading a
Yes.
DC anime. Like it's like really cool. It's way different. Al Ewing is like surprised. I still am wondering with every page turn, like where is Al Ewing taking me with this? But
Yeah, it's really a trip, dude. Like, so it really like because like it opens up with John Stewart looking at his ring, right?
yeah,
And it's Todd, whoever this guy is, just Todd. I don't remember. They say his last name. Ivan Sure says it later on, but whatever. I don't recognize this character in any way, but it's fine.
yeah, because guy already died.
Yeah, guy died. Yeah, last issue because he tried to pull the gun and he just blasted his ass.
Mhm.
I'm willing to bet that maybe guy's not dead actually, because we'll get to that.
Exactly.
So it opens up with him looking at the ring, which is really it's like a really cool like the way you get the ring in the beginning, like
Mhm.
the black ring, you know, and then slowly it gets closer and closer and closer, and then it's like you see the gold ring in the sunlight. I'm like, I thought that was a cool touch.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, John Stewart and Todd are just talking basically like on ways on how they can like get through the barrier. So he like chucks the ring and it goes all the way through.
Yeah, I thought this was really cool. It's like a cool thing. It's like a cool play on like the whole green, yellow,
Idol, thank
you
you,
know.
thank you. As soon as he threw that ring, and I was like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
nice. I was like,
I
that's
was
cool.
like, that's
That
really
was a
cool.
nice
He's
touch.
like, I think he's using it more as like a gold elemental thing, and I'm like, that's cool, but it's like also got that like
He's
source,
got
like,
the color of yellow, but it's also like, yeah, and I like the symbolism here with the rings.
yeah,
Rather like they're not actually using them, but there's a lot of symbolism with rings in this book so far.
right.
Like the wedding bands, like Joe's ring, you've got like the ring that they keep seeing. And then basically now John's like, I'm just gonna keep trying stuff. Like let's keep going, see what we can do. And then it cuts back to Hal and Joe in the diner. And he's like out of control, man. Like he realizes that the gun's out of control, but he can't stop it. So he's basically like, hey, like just let it feed. Like there's no
Yeah.
reason why we should just have to keep doing this. And
Mhm.
Joe obviously is like, no. But this is such a sick fight, dude. Like the art is so good.
Yeah, this like splash page and then like that
Yes, dude. I'm looking at the page right now.
that splash page is sick, dude.
Yeah. I just like the effects. Like it has that
It
Kirby
totally reminds me of some anime thing.
it has that Kirby crackle still too, like on the edges of it.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like with the bubbles and they all have like the glowing around them.
yeah.
Then you also have like all the other stuff that goes with it that's not like Kirby Crackle. That's just like a bunch of like wild energy blasts. And it looks, yeah, you're right. It looks just like an anime.
Mhm. Really cool.
And then so they keep duking it out. I like how she summons her first construct, just a huge ass fist.
Yeah.
Boof.
And
And
I
his
love
the
it too.
gun.
He's the one that checks how she's like, you get your crap together. Like
Yeah, he's
out
like,
of
yeah,
control.
seriously.
Like, or I swear to God, I'll do it for you. And
Yeah,
it's like basically almost like her willpower is able to like control like
the
his
power, yeah.
attack
I
and power.
I am curious to
Or like
see
influence it.
if we like will like because it kind of seems like they're undergoing trials, right?
Mhm.
Um, I'm just interested to see what all of them like kind of come out, like how they play out at the end of all, you know what I mean? Like the initial like I guess trials of the Green Lantern, because that's kind of what it feels like, is he's testing all of them in different ways. Well, he's clearly are because he's saying she's passing judgment on them. So I'm interested to see like one, how many people are gonna get judged and what happens to all of them on the other side of it. Uh, the What I thought was funny is like the next time we see Hal, because it jumps back to like John and Joe and Hal, and they're doing their thing, like trying to figure out what the deal with the Green Lantern, like the force field is. And then he pulls out this golden blue devil.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
all
like a
right.
pop toy. Looks like a
Yeah,
pop like
yeah.
figurine or
Yeah,
something.
I
Like,
thought that was funny. I was like, Blue Devil. I was like, nice.
yeah.
Yeah, and then John wastes no time, sticks it right in, and then eventually just pops back out.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah, he goes on a whole thing about the Philosopher's Stone and how it's a
yeah.
symbol of alchemy and like basically like
Because who is he talking to right here? Is that Joe? Yeah, oh, it is Joe. Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I wasn't sure at first, like with the page after,
Yeah.
like I was like, after the fight between Hal and Joe, I was like, I'm not sure who this is. But then
Right.
yeah, I put it together pretty quick. Yeah. Um
But yeah, he's able to
well,
create like a little hole in the thing and
yeah.
basically it takes about like 2 seconds to go away and basically he finds out like boom, here comes fucking Abin.
Yeah, I okay, so I'm curious as to why like this is the moment when he chose rather than like the first time John tried it. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just like tired of getting like prodded.
Because I don't think anything happens to John out of this judgment. I think John's alive.
Right. I was just gonna say like
They're not about to kill Guy and John. So,
right. I think we'll see them
you
later. No
know, like
problem.
there's no way. They're not about to kill Guy and John. So,
Todd Rice. Who is Todd Rice?
mhm.
Let's see.
So it's like
It's Obsidian.
what?
I can't believe I didn't even think of that.
What?
It's Obsidian.
What's Obsidian?
Todd Rice is Obsidian.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Mm.
I totally spaced out his name. Yeah, it's Obsidian. That means Alan is in this.
Yes.
And Jade.
I have a feeling they're all gonna pop up, yeah.
Yo, this is gonna be sick, dude.
Yeah.
I totally spaced and like literally
I
I
thought you
was
meant like he was already Obsidian. I was like, wait, what? No, like
no,
yeah.
no, but like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I was like literally getting ready to type in like Todd Rice and I was like, it's Obsidian. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. So and you basically find out that like Hal starts creating freaking, gold bullets basically. You know,
Yes, dude, because yeah, exactly. And
and
it's
that's how it
interesting
ends.
because and it's like the same gun that he pulls when he's got the black hand.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's really cool. I'm really excited to see what happens here because it seems like, this Hal is just like unhinged and just
You, I have the okay, so like I have like a little bit of a theory here. I have a feeling we're gonna kind of do away with the Green Lantern rings.
Mhm.
I think Joe might be the only one who has a ring
Okay.
because Hal has the gun, and that's clearly like his Black Lantern ring, you know?
Right.
And he has a hand. But like the way that it manifests in last issue or in the actually all three issues so far has been the gun.
Yeah.
John, I don't know what we'll see him as yet. Maybe you know what I mean, like something that his glasses maybe. Like I don't you know what I mean?
Like, I
So
don't
like something that like kind of is like their like I don't even know what the word for that is. Kind of like harness their power, I guess.
yeah.
It's a catalyst for their power. So,
I don't know. I'm starting to have the same issue with it's more egregious than Absolute Superman, so I'll discuss it more there. But this whole problem where it's like I'm just combining two characters because then it makes me wonder where the other character is. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Where it's like if it's like, hey, like you're gonna make Hal the Black Hand, it's like, okay, where's Dude then? What's he up to? What's Dude up to?
Where's the actual backhand?
Yeah, like what's he up
And
to?
I don't know that we'll ever see him. You know what I mean? And if we do, maybe it'll be one of those things where like Hal does overcome the Black Hand and it
Yeah.
gets kind of other ability,
Mhm.
but in doing so, the Black Hand doesn't actually go away. It just goes to somebody else.
That would be cool. He's kind of like an Eddie Brock kind of thing where it just goes to him. Like,
Kind of like a symbiotic, yeah, kind of like
yeah,
a symbiotic thing, yeah.
that'd be cool because I think I don't know if they're gonna like tie the whole thing with like Ion and Necron and stuff like
See,
that.
well, like when you start getting like those entities, like it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
I
that's,
think, but I think where it's at right now is perfect because Abin Sur, like,
but it's Al
if,
Ewing, and I feel like he
if
just can't help himself with
yeah,
cosmology and stuff.
right. Everybody, like, I feel like at this point, like if you're familiar with DC at all, like Abin Sur is kind of like you kind of you know who he is, you know, you can know
Yeah,
this later. But like with this here, everything's up in the air. Like Abin Sur is like he could be the big bad
yeah.
for the whole book, or you know, he could be just a stepping stone, and he ends up teaming up with him later. Like you have no idea where this is
He seems like a neutral figure so
going.
far. It's like, hey,
Right. But you know what I mean? Like what actually is going to happen when push comes to shove, maybe.
yeah. I mean, we're only on. I think by the next issue. I think this whole arc is just about Abin Sur, so we're gonna find out about it.
Yeah,
So.
I would imagine we'll find out a lot about him by the end of the arc.
But I'm loving this so far, dude. I'm loving this. It feels like it's like an anime that I get to read.
It's sick, dude. It's
Yeah, it's really good. But if you want to get into Absolute Superman now,
I
this is
don't okay. I kind of feel two ways about this issue.
let's go.
One, I like how much it diverges from like traditional Superman,
Yeah.
but I really, really, really do not give a shit about Christopher Smith, dude. I do not care. Like
Yeah,
he's just like the annoying jabroni, like Jason Aaron character, and I just don't give a shit, dude. Like I
yeah,
don't.
yeah. He's like the Flash Thompson, like douchebag, like
Yeah, exactly, dude.
yeah,
I'm just like, because like at least when you were Peacemaker, like you were like this insecure dude with like literally no power, and he had to like get over, like he had to get over it. But now that you're all juiced up, like I just whatever, man.
yeah. I mean,
I'm just not feeling it.
like that's like another thing I was gonna get into where it's like, okay, well, where's John then? If he's gonna be Metallo, like where's John at then? Like so,
Yeah, yeah, because it's kind of what it seems like. He is like Metallo.
yeah, he's got like kryptonite bullets. He's got kryptonite
Yeah,
instead of like being like a heart of kryptonite that shoots it. Like it's
yeah,
like
he's got the
shooting
kryptonite
it,
gun. I, how do you feel about the explanation with the kryptonite? Uh, like
with
how it came into play?
like him
Because like yeah,
synthetically getting it from the other Brainiac.
yeah, like I was like whatever, but it's fine.
Yeah, where she was just like,
He just
oh,
sent him like the chemical makeup, so he's like create. He's not even like
it's
genuine.
like a synthetic.
Right, synthetic kryptonite.
Yeah.
So I wonder what happens if Kal-El. Well, I mean, he probably never will because kryptonite is dust. But I don't know. Maybe it'll just be synthetic stuff for the entirety of the series, which
Or
would be a
maybe
cool.
Soul finds a way to get around it.
I would say maybe if they're gonna go the full synthetic route, that would be cool because then you can just create the other kryptonite off the main one
Yeah,
and just play it out that way. Like, oh, look at all these strains of kryptonite we did. See what they do to Superman or other people like him.
yeah.
Or what does it do to regular people? You know what I mean? Like, if will these affect regular people?
And just open up the first page. Here we go again. Like I feel like Ra's al Ghul feels like Vandal Savage to me.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I was like, is this Savage,
Like
dude?
this feels like Vandal Savage.
I forgot it was Ra's al Ghul. I was like, this is
Like,
Vandal Savage.
yeah,
This is absolute Savage right here.
yeah. So that's why I'm like, why? Like, okay, where's Vandal Savage then? If this is Ra's al Ghul, like, and if this Vandal Savage as Ra's al Ghul, then where's Ra's al Ghul? Like,
I think we should have to let go of that, dude, and just
I
accept
just
it.
don't like this combining of the
I
two.
know. Like
You
we just
know?
have to accept this notion that like amalgams are the way of the future, I think, for old
Yeah,
stuff. To make nothing new, you just amalgamate two old things.
yeah.
Yeah, and then he beats the shit out of all these Omega Men, and then he throws his baby off the
Yeah, dude, he
balcony,
turns
bro.
one of the Omega Men into a baby and throws him off the damn balcony. That's savage, bro. That is cool.
He's like, bye bye.
Yeah, dude, that's savage. I mean, it's Jason Aaron though. When I'm like, oh yeah, it's Jason Aaron. It's like, okay, yeah. I mean, sounds like something Jason Aaron would do.
Seriously. And then it just jumps to
I do like that Jimmy's an Omega Man though. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah, that is tight. Yeah, it kind of keeps true to his character, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And him and Lois are like going at it with each other in this, and I kind of like that too, where like
Yeah, because Cal makes his stop at Martha's, at the old folks' home.
yeah, this was a little
Martha.
sad, dude.
Yeah, man. I was like, dang, poor girl.
Like,
But
yeah,
yeah,
he goes over there basically, and she's like suffering from dementia, so she kind of doesn't remember him. So
she
she's like,
thinks he's
Intruder's
Jonathan.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, so she's like, Jonathan, Intruder's here. Somebody's in here. So like
yeah.
Kyle leaves, like,
Then
and
he runs
doesn't
into
like Soul try to like explain to him what's going on. Like, there's like with Martha's
yeah,
like her brains.
yeah. I think he's just trying to like describe to him like this is what's going on with her.
Yeah,
And he's like, I don't really want to hear it, like 'cause it's gonna make him sad. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, yeah. And then he's walking through the town to Smallville, and he runs into Lois and Jimmy,
yeah,
and they're kind of fighting over him. And then he gets shot, man,
yeah, dude. He
right in the
shot.
chest. Green bullet, kryptonite bullet.
Yeah,
And out comes the PCest of makers, dude.
yeah, dude.
Christopher Smith coming into Rex shop and he kind of looks like a blob, dude, just a metal blob.
Yeah,
But whatever. Um, yeah, this is where the issue kind of falls off for me, dude. Like, I will say, except for when he puts the suit on.
that suit is pretty cool. When
That
I
shit
got
was
that
fire,
page, I
dude.
was like,
That was hella sick, bro. The
yeah.
fight at that point is hella sick, but I just don't give a crap about Christopher Smith. I don't care, bro. I don't.
Yeah, that's your Amanda Waller now of
Yes, dude.
that's your absolute that's
Absolute
your absolute
Smith.
Waller.
I hate Absolute Smith, bro. All my friends hate Absolute Smith. Get out of here.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought this shit was sick, dude. The suit is really cool. I like I don't know, half this issue is the fight. So I feel like I'm just like hate half the issue now.
yeah.
Like, the only one I like is really him putting on the suit in that sick ass way.
Well, what's really cool, what's interesting is after this, like after he's shot and everything, and like Jimmy's getting out of there, he says, "This is Olsen. This is Agent Alpha. I need a boom." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, is that a
Boom
boom
tubes.
tube? Is that a
Yeah,
boom?
dude.
Oh, they're using boom tubes. Oh
Yeah.
shit."
And then like they all bust out and there's like the Primus chick, like she's like the leader, it seems like, and then
Mhm.
Lois is like, here, let's help him. And she's like, no, not you, Lane. Like, get out of here. And so they save Superman, and then Primus wrecks shop with her sword, looks like. And then boom tube out of there.
Yeah.
And then Lois is shit out of luck because she's stuck behind with all the
Yeah,
people.
and then we see like the title of the arc, and it's Superman, Son of the Demon, and it just besides it being related to Ra's al Ghul, it makes me
Cool.
wonder why Jason Aaron specifically told that name. I still don't know.
Who knows, man?
Yeah,
Who freaking knows?
yeah,
Um, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion.
Yeah, dude. What'd you think about this one?
It was pretty straightforward. I liked it. It was just honestly, I don't have a lot to say, to be quite honest with you. I don't feel like a lot happened, but I feel like enough happened for me to be interested for the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like it's not bad.
I'm gonna just say this. I think the art was okay. I think they could have got a better artist for something like this. I think it was
Yeah,
just
I agree with you. Like especially if we're considering the meeting like between like Miles and like the two Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know. Like I guess maybe between all three Ultimate Spider-Man would have been cooler to have, a different artist.
yeah,
I agree with you. The art wasn't bad, but it left a little bit to be desired.
yeah. I it's not terrible. I mean, it's still a great story. I just didn't really care for it as much. Like
Yeah, like I I think a lot of the world building stuff all camp. But as far as like Spider-Man interaction stuff, I think that might have been
that's
all Ziggler.
Ziggler and
Yeah, like the world
but
building stuff.
I even feel like I don't know. I feel like even this Peter just feels a little not. You know what I mean? I don't know. It
Well,
just
right, and I feel like part of the reason for that is he's definitely going to be a supporting character. Like he's not going to be like Miles is clearly going to be the main character because it's about Miles coming here
yeah.
and the follow up with the card. So he very much be a supporting role. I think Richard will probably get more development in this story than Peter
Yeah,
will.
he seems to have gotten like admiration to Miles
Yeah,
immediately.
which will be good for him because it might subvert some of my expectations with the suit in
Well,
general.
what's really funny to me that I realize is like Miles, he mentions that he's like multiverse stuff gets over quick, but he doesn't even really try to understand. Like, is that Peter? Who's that under Venom? Like,
Yeah, he
he
doesn't
doesn't even
ask. Like,
try.
you know what I
Like,
mean? Like
he's
he
like,
at this point for him it's just like a Tuesday.
yeah,
So
he's like,
he's
you
just
know
like
what?
whatever, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's
I thought that was pretty funny because it's like but
and for the most
it's
part it's
just
just
like
them.
if you saw the free comic book day issue, we pretty much saw what happens here. Like, he puts the card that the maker gave him in the trash, the
Right.
baby grabs it, the baby gets sent to the ultimate universe, and
He's got to follow after her.
what I thought was interesting is basically it says that Miles has only a vague memory of the universe
Yes.
that he originally came from.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
thought that was really interesting because I thought this whole time
Nope. He doesn't remember hardly anything of it.
so that's pretty interesting. So he doesn't really know when he goes to this one that the maker changed anything if everything's so vague to him.
Right, exactly. So
All
but
he knows the ultimate universe he came from is just like this.
exactly. But for him it's not home because the home has been 616 because that's the only thing that stands out because he has
Right.
no actual memory of
Right.
1610.
But I like that we also get that Molecule Man scene in this too. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
I thought that was tight. I thought that was
yeah.
really good. Yeah, it's just them kind of looking around for his sister. Then they get into a fight with Spot and they keep looking for his sister. I don't
Yeah,
it
I like that this mile names him too. Like just by seeing him, he names him because he's just like
Yeah.
hey, Spot, and he's like Spot. He's like, who's that? And he's like, that's you. He's like, what?
Yeah, he's
Like,
like, come on, man, dude. Yeah.
yeah. And it happens again where he's like, are you Venom? And he's like, no, but that's a cool name. And he's like,
Yeah.
what? No. Like, yeah.
Uh, the council meets,
Yeah, dude.
and it kind of seems like they're all trying to vie for power.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Vie
Mhm.
for top shot here. And then like the last few scenes of this is kind of like jumping back and forth. Like you've got the ultimates and Steve saying like we should send those two out to go nab that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, they're swinging around the city, keep going, and then sure enough, after leaving Peter and Richard to go off and go home and get some rest and go to school and all that, Miles keeps swinging around the city.
Hmm.
And he gets caught, man. He's caught by Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, which if you've read the latest Ultimates issue, when you
Hmm.
see Wasp, you're like, oh,
What does this mean, dude? What are we gonna do?
yeah,
Does that mean that like Wasp and Ant-Man are at odds now because she's gonna be like, I'm not taking him back to Doom? And he's like, what do you mean you're not taking him back to Doom?
yeah.
Bad news, bro. You think Hank is gonna do it again? Oh, Hank, don't do it. Don't do it, Hank.
Yeah, let's hope
Please
not.
don't ruin yourself twice, bro. Brother, come
Let's
on.
hope not. But who knows how he'll react to his wife being like a sleeper,
Seriously, dude.
But what do you want to talk
That,
about
that
next?
was it, dude. That issue was like fast.
It was pretty
I feel
quick.
like I read that in like 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
All right. The one I've been waiting for, bro.
Which one?
Immortal Thor
Yeah, dude. So
2024,
talk to
bro.
me, man.
Oh
Talk to me.
my
What do
freaking
you think?
God. It's sick, dude. It's crazy sick. This is the best issue of the run, I think, so far. This shit was it was insane.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. It was
So
awesome.
it starts out like it's the last issue. Thor and Kemmer fought, and he was about to just wreck Shaw. But Loki comes in last second, shoots at the Infinity Mask arrow, kills Kemmer. And then he gets the arrow back, and now we're here. So it's not really a big reveal. I guess if you were like, they kind of talk about it, but Nargle is actually the city.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, like that was my suspicion, like because I don't feel like maybe I don't remember reading that specific like piece of dialogue,
Mhm.
but I like feel like I wasn't sure, but then I was like, oh, it's got to be the city. You know what I mean? Because like we see Medjed here, we see Kemmer here, and if this is where the Utgard gods live, I imagine this is their city. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just like kind of everybody standing over the body of Kemmer as the hordes come in because Nargle was like screaming, and because like the way that it's put like this like the relationship for them is posed like Nargle and Kemmer is that like what is a city without a king and what is a king without its people? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like they're both like codependent on each other. So now that Kimmer is dead, Nargle is like lashing out because it has nobody to lead its legions, you know, or
Yeah.
nobody has like the if anybody chooses or comes to inhabit it. Because the other thing too is this is like the final resting place. Like this is the place that you go like when you can't go to any other afterlife.
Yeah.
So like
And if you
this is
die
it.
here, it's like over.
This is it, yeah. So
Yeah.
like I imagine they like there's a symbiotic relationship there between those two. So when one of them dies, the other one's like, ah. But it's a really good issue, man, because it just is like keeps going and going with like them escaping. They finally get out of, you know, past the gate, and then Utgard Loki shows up.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, "Oh, you think you can leave? Like you can't because the trial is not done yet, so you cannot go." And he busts the gate open. And he just pops it, bro, because it's his gate, and the gate is officially now open. Like it's been open multiple times, and Thor was warned. Thor was warned multiple times, like, don't keep opening the gate because if you do, one of these times it's not gonna be able to get shut. Here we are. And then, and dude, what happens next is probably like one of the coolest string, like of Thor, like baller moments that I've read in a long ass time.
That's
There's
right.
the line of dialogue where he's talking like, oh, he's like, Thor tells Hermod, like, cross the Black Gate, carry Heimdall to safety. The creatures of, and Heimdall's like, or Hermod says, the creatures of Utgard will follow us even into the Golden Realm, Thor. There is no safety and there is no gate. And then Thor is just like, not so, brother, for I am the gate. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, dude,
that
like,
was hard. Yeah.
sick. And then you got, dude, and then like him and Scourge, like Loki dipped. And Scourge's the only one there with him, you know. And he's like telling Scourge, like, hey, like, look, like basically, like, I want you to have a warrior's death. He's like, but this is not your place to die. So he's like, you get this really cool moment where, like, for all this time, Scourge has kind of been like the laughing stock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, he really only found his value in Simonson's run when he died on Galabru, like making this final stand. So when I got taken away from him and he got sent back to the land of the living, like for like the fourth time he was like, I just need to die so I can be there forever and rest. But now he kind of found like a new purpose here, you know, because before he was like everybody laughed at him, they made fun of him. He was just that guy. Like Thor, like the All Father trusts him
Yeah.
to like hold his back. And which is like such a full circle moment because he's like Thor says, what does it say? He says, oh, for we have been over this, Thor. I will not run away to Asgard without a fight. And then he says, I would never ask you to. I will stand at the gate, Scourge, but you must hold the bridge. I was hype,
Yeah.
bro. Like you've no idea.
Yeah.
Dude, like you want to give me hyped up, bro? Do shit like this in every Thor issue. Oh
Yeah.
God. Like, dude, that's like, dude, this is literally like 400 issues coming, bro. Like it's such payoff, dude, for people that have read Simonson's run. Oh my God. It's such a cool one for Scourge. because Scourge is like, I don't need to be this way anymore. He's like, because the All Father and other people have like they see value in me when I only had value in battle. Or
Yeah,
I'd battle in my death. He's like, my life now has value and I get to protect these people because Thor told me I could.
right. But
Thor
then
just
we see
being Thor is
Thor
what
fight
inspired him to change.
but then we see Thor fight Majed.
Yes. So yeah, he sends Scourge off, and then Thor turns his back to the now open gate, and so it's just because the unforgiving city is like boundless. It just keeps growing out of Utgard, and it's going into Asgard, eventually all the realms. You know.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, like Loki, Utgard Loki keeps referring to Thor as Asa Thor. Is that like the Asa, like the Utgard type name for
Yes. Yeah.
like
Yes.
that?
Yeah. So like, I don't. I don't really know what the exact definition for obviously Utgard meaning like whatever where they're from, like the elder gods. But Asa is like whatever came after. So yeah, like
Okay,
because Tauros calls him Asa Thor as well.
okay,
Um yeah, so he Medjed ends up making finally making his like another appearance because last time we saw him he was putting the nails in Tyrannos' wheel in his hands and sending
right.
him back to Asgard. So yeah, Thor is like starts to fight with Medjed and all the hordes of the unforgiving city. And Medjed is the god of ghosts and mysteries. And so he disappears and he just knocks the shit out of Thor, dude, like right out the gate.
Yeah, that's a gnarly.
Yeah. And
He's
Sif is
basically an
on.
Utgard, right? He's basically
Huh?
Majed's basically a Utgard, right?
Yeah, yeah, he's one of the other gods, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, like you've got yeah. And like it's a fight, dude. It's a good fight. Well, see, like I think about that, and it seems kind of one-sided because I was under the impression that Medjed might have been a little bit more intimidating, you know?
yeah,
But Thor just I think it's also a thing of like Thor is just at his final, like he's like ready to die.
like
So
he's
he's really
accepted his fate. He's accepted
he's
it.
giving it everything he's got. Like there's no gas left in the tank when he's done with these people, bro. Like he's fucking it up. Um, and
What
then like
about this whole like Sith part? Like
let's
where
see, like the in between part, like where Sif is running and she finds Heimdall still like he's still barely living, but like he can get nursed back to health and they'll be okay. And then Volstagg is just holding Hermod by his cape. He's like, I'll take care of this one.
yeah.
So then like she says like, oh, like there's like Thor's in trouble. Like we need to go do something. And then it just jumps back into Thor versus Medjed. And he does get hit a few times. You know, that's I can't really say he only gets hit the one time, but he gets hit a couple times, Thor does. But it's also like Thor is doesn't really know what this opponent is, for one, I think. And two, he could really just mess it up, you know? And so I think Thor, like I said earlier, was really trying to just go balls to the walls,
Yeah.
not really leave anything left because if he did, he knew he was definitely gonna die. I mean, he's ready to die anyway. Like he's prepared to do it. Obviously, he doesn't want to, but there are so many cool moments. And I feel like you only get these moments because he's knocking on the door. You know what I mean? Like he's accepted it and he's ready to go, but he's like, I'm gonna give it everything I got because why
Well,
not?
that's what I thought was cool about this, where he was like,
Summons a storm too.
where he's basically like, my servant is the storm.
Yes.
Like that's my servant, and it's like boom, just like hits.
And then he reminds him because he threw Tormod earlier in the fight, and he's all like, "You saw me throw my axe." He's like, "It hasn't come back yet." He's like, "Where is it?" And then he just rips right through him. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it was kind of brutal too.
Yeah, it totally reminds me of that, like, Hickman Avengers moment where he does that with like the gardeners or whatever. Like
Right.
the builder, I think, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's I don't want to say it's a complaint, but I can imagine that some people would be upset that Thor made it out of this fight alive
Because of
because
Utgard.
it is supposed to be his final stand here, right?
Right.
He somehow makes it back out of Utgard because the city is now receding. What cat? This cat's going off over here.
Oh.
Uh, so yeah, and it's like I could understand that maybe some people would find this like the climax of this fight underwhelming because he does survive. And but
Right.
that's for
Well,
good reason. You know
we
what I
have
mean?
to
That's for
save
good
it for what's
reason.
about to happen.
Exactly. And I don't want to spoil that ahead of time
Yeah.
because the whole time you're like, wow, Thor survived the fight. I can't believe it. This kind of sucks because it's supposed to be the death of the Immortal Thor, and then we're
Yeah.
relaunching in 2 months, and we're making Marvel all this cool money with their new variants and all this other crap. But guess what? just as the sun is shining, and Sif and Thor see each other and they're smiling, and they're just longingly in love because there's this narration of Thor finally realizing that Sif is his one true love and that he cannot wait to spend the rest of eternity with her. Loki fucking stabs him in the back with the eternity arrow.
Right. But
I
it all harkens back to the first issue where he says, "Do you trust me even if I'm your enemy? Like, even if I have to be your enemy, like, do you trust
I
me?"
also Thor has only acquired two of the three weapons needed to complete his task against the Utgards. What does killing the Allfather with the Eternity Mask do? We don't know. What else happens when uh and now like the Unforgiving City isn't really a place that Thor can go to because he just trumped it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dang, bro, chill out.
And it's really cool too because that all harkens back to like Al Ewing's Avengers Beyond, or I mean Defenders Beyond.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because at the end of that's when Loki has the
And I
piece.
also wanted to ask you, is when Loki becomes like God of Stories Loki, is that in Al Ewing's Loki run? Like that like Agent of
Yes.
Asgard stuff?
Yes, it's in Agent Asgard, yeah. Because there comes a point where he's well, no, I'm pretty sure that is Defenders Beyond, actually. But he starts to learn how to navigate outside of like the preset narrative during Agent of Asgard. Like that development kind of starts to unfold there.
Okay, because I'm gonna buy that like collection. I want to buy that.
Of Agent of Asgard,
Yeah,
it is smoke, dude. It is so good. Get it.
really.
It's really good. Yeah, it's
Because I
only
also
17
wanted to
issues.
get that one, and I wanted to get the one before it, which was like I think the Mistress of Mischief, where it like takes place right after War of the Realms. I think it's Straczynski that did that.
Oh, that would have been right after the relaunch when Loki became Lady Loki, but he was in Sif's body.
Oh, that's okay.
So
That
like yeah, dude, like modern Loki's development as a character is like a character study through and through, bro.
that's what I'm saying. I want to
Because
get
you get
like I
like
want to collect Loki.
yeah, no, dude, trust me, bro. Like read okay, here's my reading order for you. If you're gonna read Loki, if you can skip the like the Vote Loki or like the Loki miniseries, I think from a few years ago. It's that's the one that takes place after War of the Realms. I feel like you can skip that one. It's not that important.
Okay.
Um, so my recommendation would be start with JMS Thor. Like read that.
Yeah.
I would say read that and then up until Gillen takes over. Read that, finish that, because that's where it kind of like lays the groundwork for what Gillen does in Journey into Mystery, which is all completely um Kid Loki.
Oh, that's cool.
So like because it's Loki's been reborn, except he's like good, quote unquote. So you get this whole like and it's every issue is written by Kieran Gillen. So it's just like top
Right.
notch, dude. And Stephanie Hans does a lot of the art in there too, and it's just so good. Um, you get all of that, but then after that, you get like there's a Young Avengers run, I think also written by Gillen.
Yeah.
You get more there with Kid Loki, but then you also kind of come back to things with Agent of Asgard because he's now like reborn again as like the new Loki, like the modern Loki that we see today.
Right. So pretty much Ewing's Loki is like pretty much all I need for the
Yeah, like as far as this goes, yeah, I would say right now all you really need is Ewing's Loki.
like Agent of Asgard, Defenders Beyond. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I would say also probably well, you could obviously read Defenders. Like read all 10 issues because the first five
Yeah, I
issues.
have Defenders and Defenders Beyond.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good.
So that's why I
Um,
want to get Agent of Asgard because it's like I'm getting all the Ewing stuff, like
and I
all.
think there's 17 issues, but I think there might also be a like a one shot or something also, or like a point whatever issue somewhere in there. I
Or
don't
like
know.
an annual or something. Or
Yeah, something like that. You know how back when they used to do like the Marvel 24 point yada yada, like
I hate those
16.1 or
point
whatever.
issues. Yeah.
Whatever, dude. Like, you know what I mean? They're fine. But yeah, they were kind of annoying. But yeah, so the death of Immortal Thor is Loki kills Thor, which I wasn't gonna say I'm like I was expecting it, but also like I didn't rule
Oh,
it
it
out.
was a surprise when I got to it. I was like, but when I saw it happen, I was like, of course that would happen. Like
That
once
was
it
literally my
happened, I was like, of
reaction.
course
I was like the fact that
that
I
was
didn't
gonna
really
be the way.
like the fact that it's like all right, it was obvious. It was like so obvious I didn't think it was gonna actually happen,
Yeah.
but it did. No, it was cool. I liked it. I liked
And
the
especially with
separation.
the eternity, I feel like that's important because it's
Right,
like,
exactly. Like, and that's why I'm not like, oh, Loki killed him. Like, because you're right, it does harken back to that first issue where he says, like, can you trust me even as your enemy?
yeah.
Like, will you
If
trust me?
I
And he
have to
says,
be an
I.
enemy to help you, do you trust me?
Yeah, and he even says, like, I will. Like, I trust you, brother.
Exactly. So I feel like that if you remember that moment, this is it. Like that's what
Yeah,
and I
and
feel like even Loki knew that this was gonna happen back then. Like this
oh,
was
of course. Like
yeah,
Loki's been playing this game for too long. Like, and I think that's gonna be what Utgard Loki's downfall is he's not expecting this Loki to be
yeah.
so adept at
It's
story
basically gonna
magic.
be who's the better trickster. It's gonna be
Yeah, and it's yeah, exactly. And not even that like so much that, but more so like who's the better
narrator and
yeah, like who can weave the better tale.
yeah.
Bro, I'm so ready for that. I need an issue of that, dude.
Is that basically what you think is gonna happen when like this next
Could you
issue,
imagine that
like
like
after the reboot, like it's
a
gonna be
big
like
final
the new
stand?
tale of
Dude, yes. Dude,
Loki's
that's
tale of
crazy. Did you oh I didn't even dude, that's good shit.
that'd be cool.
Like Loki, like okay, who do you think the narrator is going to be for Thor when it relaunches in August? Do you think it's Loki or Utgard Loki, or do you think it's going to be a battle between them as the series goes on, and it'll slowly kind of build to this like they've both been?
I think it's gonna be Loki. I think it'll be Loki. I
See,
think because it's all
I
gonna
think so too. I think it will be Loki, but I really would love to see like Loki be the main narrator. But we don't see Utgard Loki again for a while, and we get like little glimpses of him narrating the story here and there. So obviously the text boxes look different, more like his own, and you'll get the Loki text boxes as far as like the
yeah,
narration goes. But I think it would be interesting to see like as the series unfolds you get Utgard Loki's presence kind of coming back into things, and it becomes this like meta like narrative battle between the two skalds because that's it's been I feel like that's been kind of building because every time Loki makes a play with doing story magic or saying that he's a skald and he's going to make all these making all these changes, Utgard Loki's like you're literally like you're just a child like you don't really understand like
yeah,
this power or what it means. It so it would be cool to see Loki kind of up his game and or their game and see where that battle goes. Like a battle of wits between the two
yeah.
of them. It would be sick, dude.
It's gonna be fun. And like maybe like like basically like somebody like taking the narrative, like almost like taking the pen, like they're fighting over the narrative.
Yeah, yes,
Immediately,
dude.
like they're
Yes.
fighting over the
Like
narrative.
but and it would be also interesting because obviously Thor will be reborn. You know what I mean? It would be interesting to see if he's the only one who grasps this. Like he's like something's wrong here. Like the story keeps changing, and I don't. Man, I just have all these ideas running through my head now because of this,
Yeah, and I'm sure Al Ewing does too, so that's
dude.
gonna be great.
He's cooking, bro. I can't wait. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be fire, dude. I can't wait. I think, and especially Pascal Ferry, dude. Oh, I can't
Oh
wait.
no, man. Give it to me.
Can't
All
wait.
right, you ready for Imperial?
Yeah, dude. What'd you think about this overall?
It is long, it is strong, and it is fucking crazy,
It's pretty
dude.
cool. It's pretty cool. I feel like
Crazy.
it's out of nowhere. I'm like, where is this story coming from to make this happen out of nowhere?
Well,
Like,
like here's the thing: is it's kind of is out of nowhere, and
yeah.
I think that's the reason why is because it's supposed to set up Marvel Cosmic for however long moving forward.
Right. It just feels so like jarring to go from
Well,
Philip
like I
whole.
mean, yes, if you haven't been following some of the cosmic side of stuff, like X-Men Red. See, I this is why I think when you have like when you have good writers like Ewing and like Hickman, they bounce their ideas off each other and they develop them in really cool ways
Yeah.
because there's been a lot of tension building with this galactic union for a while. There was some shit going on in X-Men Red, there was some shit going on in Sword, there was some shit going on in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like so that's been kind of building and all that's been Ewing. But then you also have like some stuff happening in Guardians of the Galaxy in that run after, and it was Lansing and Kelly and like Jason is back, and then Victoria gets reintroduced. Oh, her name is that's Victoria, right? Of Spartax.
Mhm.
So like yeah, it's like those characters get like reintroduced after a little while, and then you've got shit, man. Like you've got the other cosmic stuff that's kind of been going on behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah, gods and
And yeah, and you've got gods, you've got the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. They're a big player too, you know. You've
I feel like Hickman really has a thing for cosmic Wakanda. Between Imperial and AV,
yeah, yeah, AVA. Yeah.
yeah, it's really
Uh,
cool. I like it,
and
but
this the way that this book is structured is like multiple chapters per issue, right? Which I think is cool because it kind of gives you a break in like the storytelling and it lets
this
you.
feels like a long book to
It
have
is, dude. It
chapters.
is, bro. It's a long ass book.
Yeah.
And it opens up with Amadeus and Jennifer Walters and Bruce Banner.
Mhm.
So
Also, this art is really good. I really like this art.
yes, dude.
Really good.
Um, you had a question about what the deal with Hulk is here.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure we're probably both on the same track. It can't be the Hulk that's in the Incredible Hulk, right?
Yeah, fractured
Got
skull.
to be Green. Yeah, it can't be Fractured Sun. It's probably Green Scar,
Yeah.
which would make sense given some of the history with Immortal Hulk, kind of some of the stuff that's
And
happened
maybe
in
just like the news of like
Hero Kala.
his son
Yeah,
dying
his
brought
son
out the
dying.
green scar, maybe.
Yeah, because he's very like, and also, and even if it isn't, and it is just regular Incredible Hulk, it's still his son.
Yeah.
You
But
know
I
what I
mean
mean? Like at the
it's
end,
just the way Hulk talks in this is completely different from how
right? Exactly. So like, I'm willing to bet it is probably Green Scar,
yeah.
but we'll see what happens.
I
It
do
would be,
like how like this artist draws like Banner though. I'm like this looks
yes, dude.
I do like
Man,
that.
it's tight.
Yeah. I love this art. I love the way Hulk looks. I love everything about this. This is really cool looking, but I'm also like this feels just so jarring because it's like I feel like Hickman's just like, yeah,
Hey, I
Filkins.
need to borrow Hulk
I'm
for a couple
just
months.
I'm borrowing your toy really quick, and I'm doing this with it.
Well, see, like, and that's what I think. See, like, and maybe like feel free to disagree with me, but I feel like Hulk's one of those characters where if you're going to use him the right way, you can get a lot of versatility out of him.
Yeah,
Like
you can.
you can keep him in the horror book, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be taking place at the same time as what's going on in Imperial.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's got
Because
like
clearly
30
right now,
personalities. Like
like
he's
here's the thing, I too, Thor is technically alive right now in World War Under Doom. He's dead as of this week.
hmm
How is he alive for 5 more months? You know what I mean? But also still clearly dead.
right. I like how McKay wrote him out of Avengers to make that consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Because yeah. So there's a I don't know. I'm okay with it, I guess.
I just feel like Hickman was like, dude, I really love Planet Hulk, and I want to do some cool stuff with Planet Hulk.
All
Like,
right, because you're gonna get the Panthers, you're gonna get the Kree, you're gonna get the Scroll. Might as well get the
yeah.
Hulk. You know what I mean?
And who better to do a big cosmic story than Hickman? So,
Hickman, bro. The
yeah,
goat, man.
yeah.
And it's pretty much yeah, I feel like as far as like the early plot details, it's really just Hulk kind of visiting home again, reestablishing his dominance on the planet. You know, even though he's kind of like gave way to like leading the planet and ruling it, people still respect him and what he has to say. So he kind of gets away with a lot. He can kind of do a lot
Right.
as
Because I
far
mean,
as
he's the king's father. Like,
right. He's still technically royalty, you know, like he's like whereas his son is acting king, he was once king. Like, you know, he could I guess all things considered, he could technically take the throne as king regent again
pretty
because
much, I think what it is they just need like somebody from the bloodline because like he leaves
right.
Jennifer there, and like,
Right, because like the like this his like servant literally said like they're like all of his families are fighting for this and he's got like five of them. So it's like yee.
mhm.
And then it's off to the races. And they go to space after they discover that Hiro Kala has been poisoned in a really interesting way because it's like two agents, right? Like one of them is like constantly searching for somewhere to like to check a weak point. So it's
Mhm.
like constantly prodding you. And then when it finds that weak point, the second one activates and kills you, basically.
Right.
How I understand it. Um fast forward to the Hulks are visiting the Fulcrum City station, which is kind of like the central hub for all of the big galactic empires, like trading, shopping, yada, living, yada yada yada. It's kind of like has like a Star Wars vibe too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you've got Peter and his dad, who's Emperor of Spartax,
Mhm.
and they're just chatting, and he's like, "Hey, like, we really need to get this under control because multiple world leaders are dying. We don't, it's all the same thing, and we don't know what to do." So he sends Peter out to go find Richard, and Richard says, "Hell no, man! Like I'm drinking." Um, I'm interested to see how big of a role Star-Lord and Nova actually play.
Yeah.
I like them. I like when they're together and doing cool shit together. But if it's gonna be like their sideline, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like him and Richard Rider working together, and it's gonna be
Yeah, I
crazy.
wonder if this is gonna play out like kind of like a modern day Annihilation.
Well, I just feel like Star Lord and Richard Rider could have like this Blue Beetle Booster Gold type.
So
Like
yeah.
where they could like bounce off each other.
Like, and that's the other thing too is like I mean, there's a history between them too because they had during Ewing's Guardians, there was a point where it was like him and Peter and Gamora were like a thing. So it's like
Wait, what?
not like all three of them together, but like
Oh,
they all had feelings for each other.
right.
And Peter was gone for so long because he became the sun god and all this stuff. But like, yeah, so there's a lot of history there between, especially, I mean, they served during Annihilation together. Like that was like war to them, you know what I mean? Like the Nova Corps was still kind of around.
Right.
They weren't around, but you know what I mean? But like it's not as desperate as it is now, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So the Hulks end up making it to the Fulcrum City Station while Peter and Richard are having their chat in the bar. And then meanwhile, you've got Jason also talking to some of the other, like you've got him talking to Gladiator, this horse face guy, BoJack Horseman,
Yeah.
and then yeah, he gets someone to talk to Hulk. And Hulk's like, man, basically like you better tell me what's up or I'm about to wreck shop
Yeah.
because he's like, or point me in the direction of whose ass I need to kick.
Right. Like,
But then he shares something interesting because Hulk feels guilty about this. You know what I mean?
right.
Because his son died and he says he hated him, but he also
Yeah,
feels
he's like never checked on him. He's never like
yeah, exactly. So he feels like he failed him. So he wants to try and do at least one thing right by him, and that's like avenge him.
yeah,
He basically do the one thing that he knows how to do.
right.
Uh, just more Peter, more Richard doing their thing. And then you get kind of the meeting with the council, right? Here in chapter 3. And this is kind of where everything goes down. Um, Jason reveals that 4 galactic leaders have been murdered, all in the same way.
Yes.
And basically says, one of you did it, and now we're gonna find out who it is. So they're all like freaking the hell out, you know.
Yeah.
Basically, some people are like, dude, I can't believe this guy. Like, why would he do this? It's like, dude, what do you expect, bro? Like four leaders are dead, and you want to pretend like this didn't just happen, like it was just one guy? No, man.
Right. And that includes Peter Quill's dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, but then you've got like the accusation against Teddy, like you know what I mean, against Hulkling
Hmm.
here. And even Billy is like, hey man, like we didn't do this, bro. It's not on us.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody believes them, so they're like trying to get the reassurances from like their generals, from Kalart, and everybody. So like, just get rid of them. It's their fault. Like, yeah. And then finally, somebody steps forward and reveals that it was the scientists that developed a poison, and they don't even know who did it, right?
Hmm.
Who bought it? But then, as soon as, or no, he is gonna say,
Wait.
and then he gets shot in the dome,
Mhm.
and it turns out it's a Wakandan, which was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be a Wakandan soldier.
Right. So it's a Wakandan soldier, and it's like basically now this is like a cosmic war that's happening.
Well, yeah, because you've
Do
got
you
well,
think it's just somebody? Do you think it's a actual Wakanda, or do you think it could be somebody just wearing Wakanda?
posing as a Wakandan. That could be. But it's also interesting to note that in the beginning of the issue, they talk about how Wakanda will not be present for this.
That is true.
So I'm curious to see like how far that rabbit hole goes. Like if it's now all out war against Wakanda and they realize they made a mistake partway through and something else is the reason behind this,
Yeah.
or is it really intergalactic empire of Wakanda doing this stuff to make a power play? Because they seem pretty independent from like Wakanda on Earth,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell. I don't know enough about that. I haven't read enough about any of that to know for sure, but it kind of seems that they operate pretty independently from each other.
Hmm.
Whereas like, and here's the thing is like it's obviously a power move to do like for Wakanda not to show up because they have vibranium.
Of
And if
course. And
they're
they
not
need
willing to
that for
play
the star
ball,
they need that for the Stargates.
right,
So
for the Stargates, right, exactly. And if they're not willing to play ball, then
nobody's traveling. And it's like they
right,
have
so
all
they
the
can,
key. And if they have all the means to get around, they're the ones killing everybody. Nobody has any means to protect anybody or get around or
yep, you control the spaceways.
yeah.
So you become an intergalactic monopoly, and basically
Basically like the
power.
gas, like the thing we're going through with like the gas and like the world.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like the same thing with that. They're
yeah,
using uranium for Stargate and stuff like that to get around. It's pretty cool.
yeah. And then it's like a fight ensues. Well, because yeah, oh yeah, you're right. His dad did die.
Hmm.
Jason did die. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
He gets smacked up good, bro.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to kind of like the aftermath of the fight there. And everybody's kind of recovering. You got uh Peter who finds his dad's ring.
Hmm.
Oh, goodness.
He looks
And
up and he
he's
sees.
ready. He's ready to fight because Richard's ready to fight too, right there.
Yeah. And it's cool because like it kind of like it goes back where he was like, no way, no way, I would never. Now he's like,
Yeah. Yeah, he realizes like, hey man, like it's serious. Like we gotta go.
yeah,
And I really love the build up here. Like here at the end, the last few pages, it's just everybody like getting like locked in for the
yeah.
fight, you know. You've got Ronan, you've got these BoJack Horseman people, you've got is that Deathbird, I think is her name, right?
Mhm.
Deathbird, you've got the Gladiator right there, Star Lord,
Pretty
Nova,
cool. Like, yeah,
and you know what I mean? You got everybody there and they're all like, you know, there's only thing one thing left for us to do. And then Hulk's like, it's war.
yeah,
And I'm like, all right, this is gonna be sick.
yeah. So it's pretty much cosmic. It's like Planet Hulk, but cosmic now.
Oh, it's gonna be so sick, dude. I can't
Like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
wait.
But Hickman's cooking. He always cooks. So
Never stops, bro. He's the best chef in the
I
in
already put on my poll like the Imperial She-Hulk and the Imperial Black Panther.
in the Black Panther one, yeah.
Yeah, I put them both on there. I
Those
was
are
like,
gonna be good too. I'm excited, bro. There's a lot of good stuff.
because both of them are different writers, but it says with Jonathan Hickman on
Yeah,
both.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's doing like he's not writing the dialogue, but like the script, I think, is what's his.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. There's
Yeah,
so
it's
many,
just really cool setup. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen
so many
here.
good comics out right now,
And
dude.
not even that, like I said, I feel like a lot of times you don't get when books are 6.99, you don't get your
It's
worth.
not worth 6.99. This is worth
This
it.
is like this
How,
is like I feel
how many
like
ads were in there?
this is totally made with like the trade in mind because with like all the chapters and stuff like that, it's gonna read way better in trade all of this collect
Right. Well, the
because
thing about this way, you like you, it's like four. It's a four chapters, right, per issue. It looked like
yeah.
that's not bad, dude.
So I imagine
And
it's gonna be like 12 chapters and like his way of storytelling it, like
20, I think, because it's 5 issues, isn't it?
yeah.
It's four for every issue. Yeah, it'd be like it'd be 20 chapters plus you
Yeah.
get the whatever's in the one shots. Damn, that's like that'll be a good read. It'll probably be a good read when it's done.
Yeah, when it's a trade and like
Yeah,
all finished, like it's gonna be cool. Like,
for
yeah,
sure.
it'll probably be worth it, but I really hope I'm sure all of the other ones are 6.99 too, right? So
Oh, I'm sure they will
this
be.
is all
Yeah.
gonna be just a big,
Let me check.
I'm sure. But
I mean, it could be one of those things where it's like that. It's like Gods, where it was just a huge first issue.
well, it's funny that Hickman's doing that with Gods. He did that with Gods, but like AVA this whole time has been 6.99 also. It's like they trust Hickman to be like the premier. And if you're gonna trust anybody to be the
It's
premier,
40 pages from now on.
oh, so there was
It's
just the first.
4.99.
Oh man, I was kind of hoping we were getting like these big, because this felt like big and important, like this
Yeah,
book does.
yeah, it's 4.99. So it'll be 40 pages.
Okay,
Which is still not bad.
no, but yeah, I think Hickman. I like what Hickman's setting up here. Can't wait to. I have no idea what to expect and
Hey,
what's
man,
gonna.
we're here for the ride, bro.
It's just Hickman. You're here for the ride, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
great. Um, quick one thing I just want to talk about. Ultimate Wolverine. I thought it was pretty fun.
Dude,
It felt like they finally were like. It felt like
I
someone
know.
told him like get along with it. Get
You have to get to the X-Men now, you guys. Come on.
yeah, like get
I okay. I'm glad that we didn't draw this out past the first arc.
yeah, because I feel like even
Yes.
6 issues is way too long.
I don't know. I thought it was paced pretty well. I think maybe we could have gotten away without like one less issue doing this, but I really like this issue. The art was a little sometimes, but it was good ass issue, dude. Like, and to kind of get him back and to see some like kind of familiar faces like Abigail Brand, who I assumed was Forge, and then like a couple other characters. Like it was just cool to see familiar faces, I guess,
Yeah,
because I wasn't expecting a lot this many of them to be around in the Ultimate Universe, I
I'm
guess.
way
So,
more excited now than that I know like Logan's back. It's not just a Winter Soldier,
hell yeah, dude.
world, like
Yes,
Logan's back. So
it'd be great.
I'm excited
That'd
for
be
that. But yeah, pretty much got anything else?
That's it, man. I mean, I was really looking forward to talking about those, honestly.
Yeah.
Those are some good ass books.
Yeah, dude. This was a great week.
It's
I
been
mean,
a while, dude. I feel like it's been a while since there's been a week like that.
yeah.
That was fire, dude.
Yeah. I mean, and it's great too because like I said, I was holding this off because I was like, dude, I need to sit and it took me about like a good half hour, 45 minutes just to read.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I read it the other day, I was like, damn, this is long.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
didn't realize it was that long when it came out, dude. I was like, dang.
Yeah. So
But
I'm stoked. But yeah, next week's gonna be good too. So
mhm. Yeah, okay. I guess kind of news. I don't know. We will be trying to put out a video we'll be recording every Monday as far as releasing, hopefully within the next day or so after that, I
yeah.
think.
Oh
Maybe either, Tuesday, Wednesday release. We'll see what happens.
yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, we'll try to be on a more consistent schedule. Anybody that's still viewing and watching every week or however,
Yeah.
I mean, however long you've been watching for, thank you, regardless.
Yeah.
1 to 70 now. We're about to put out issue number 70.
You basically
So
hearing us like, this is how we talk in the comic shop.
we just
So
yeah, bro. Like literally, that's all. And it's so funny because like I've had a few people ask like, oh, like what is your podcast about? And I'm like, it's really honestly just comic book shop talk. That's all it is, dude. We just
yeah.
talk comics. That's all it is. Like it's
Yeah.
just random thoughts that we have that we just shoot by each other, speculation, theories. I don't know. I used to not be into this kind of stuff, but like when you read so much and you find someone you can bounce ideas off of, it's fun.
Well, not even that. It's not that many people have like a vast knowledge of like the cast of characters. Like you and I have like a good reference for
I
every.
think so. I'm not gonna sit here and be like I know everything
No,
because
for
clearly
sure.
I don't. Like there are huge like X-Men is not my bag, bro. Like if you
Yeah,
give
for
me
sure.
anything like Free Krakoa, I'm not your guy.
Same, same,
No, not a chance.
same.
Ask me anything about Jeff Johns Green Lantern. I don't know shit about it. I've read a couple issues here and there. I've read Blackest Night, but that is all.
I have it all right here. I need to let you borrow it.
Oh, I know. I will. So
So
one
good.
day.
I have literally all of it.
Hey man, we'll just do the same thing we do with Hickman.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Yeah. Because
But
dude,
yeah, no, I feel like like between the two of us, we got enough like stuff kicking up here to keep the conversation going, kind of have these ideas that are fun to think about.
yeah. I mean, we just love comics. We love
That's really all it is, dude.
medium. We love the characters. We love the writers. We love everything about the industry. So
Just comics, bro. All
yeah.
about comics. All right, dudes. Peace out.
There on, guys. Stay safe out there. Wait, wait.